Hello, hello everyone. Happy Friday. I'm so excited for today. I'm going to wait just a minute until I see it pop up on my computer. So far it hasn't yet. If you see the red dot in the upper left-hand corner, that means you are catching me live. If not, you are catching the replay. Let me know that you're watching the replay by commenting. If you have a question during the replay, go ahead and tag me in it so that I can make sure and see your comment. Hey, Kirsten. I'm so excited for class 2. I'm going to try and get this done before class. These projects won't take that long. Very excited. And Kirsten, thank you so much for all that cutting and preparing you did. It looks like a lot of fun, but definitely a lot of work. All right, those of you that are popping on, make sure you comment so I can see who's here. Looks like it just popped up on my computer. Better make sure I'm on mute. All right, there we go. Kirsten, while you're preparing classes, do you like to listen to music or watch movies or anything like that to pass the time? I'm going to go ahead and get started. I have a few things to share with you all, and then a fun picture from one of my trips that I took back in 2019 when traveling was pre-COVID. All right, so I'm going to start off with the set that we're using today. So we're going to be using the O-Snap bundle, or not bundle, I'm sorry, O-Snap stamp set. And this is how the make and take is going to look. If you would like these make and takes for free, you will need to order $35 or more by Tuesday. That's January 26th. And here is the host code. So I'm going to take the stamp set away. This is what the recipe cards will look like. I've printed them full size, but you could print them half size if you wanted to put them in a smaller binder. But I just wanted to put them in sheet protectors, and then I'm going to put them in a binder. And then at the end of the year, I decided to put all my recipe cards together. So I wanted to share this picture with you all. And these are crocodiles. It took me a while to find out whether they were crocodiles or alligators, because I don't know about you, I have a really tough time differentiating the two. They look so similar, and online it said alligator snouts are a little bit more U-shaped, and I thought this was pretty U-shaped, but on the website it said they're crocodiles. This was back in 2019, back at my Disney trip that I shared with you already, that I took during Halloween, and this was a Wild Africa trek in Animal Kingdom. It was so much fun. I'll post a video of me going over this bridge. And as you can see, I am in a harness, and it is attached to a cord above. You can kind of see it up here. But the hard part is walking on these steps here. And as you can see, there are some pretty big gaps. And in the video I share, you'll be able to see how large some of those gaps were. And we had to have everything attached to us. So even my sunglasses have like these little ropes attaching them, just in case they slipped off, they wouldn't slip off into their habitat. It was so much fun, definitely worth the extra money. And we were able to get like a private tour of all of these animal areas in Animal Kingdom. So much fun. And you may have seen this on my blog or on Instagram, Facebook. I colored this cute croc in 6 different blend pairs. And on Instagram, the 2 that were the most popular were Granny Apple Green and Old Olive, which I found really interesting. I didn't have anyone say they liked Shaded Spruce, Just Jade, or Mint Macaron. And my personal favorite is this Mossy Meadow one. And I did look up some information. about the colors. So crocodiles are mainly in the green colors. So that's one way that you can help differentiate between the two. I see we have some more people popping on. Go ahead and drop a comment so that I can see who is here. And we are going to continue with our projects. So, are you ready to see what all three look like? Grab my box over here. As always, I put them in a box and I fill them with treats so you can see what it looks like if you were to give a gift to someone. So here we have the card with a really cute pink crocodile, and it says, "Sorry I snapped at you." And I feel like if you snapped at someone and you gave them this gift box, they would forgive you right away. And then inside I've included this cute little bird and then a space to write. And I didn't match the flap exactly. It has the same pattern from the Oso Ombre paper, but I chose different colors. If you want them to match, go ahead and pick a different color up. Pick the same color and then do both with that color. And then we have this cute bag topper. It says Jungle Wishes and Crocodile Kisses. And I found the cutest Hershey Kisses. I'm gonna hold it up to the camera. I hope you can see this. These are zebra print Hershey Kisses. Isn't that perfect for a crocodile? So cute. And then I have a quick story about this one. I'll tell you as I'm preparing the cards. But we do have a Kit Kat bar here. And just remember that it's a mocha chocolate. And I'll tell you about the story as I'm crafting. But it'll fit any regular size Kit Kat bar. And you can always pick a different chocolate as well. But I thought that, you know, give me a break went perfectly with our crocodile. No. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. Hey Kirsten, I just saw your message that you've been watching Netflix. I know that you probably can't type that much right now because you're preparing for our class, but what shows have you been watching on there? If you get a chance to type it in. I love binge watching on Netflix. I have been watching, so I loved Vampire Diaries, and so I finished the originals over winter break, and now I've been watching Legacy. And I really like Legacy because they keep referencing Harry Potter because it is a magical school. Hey Andrew, thanks for joining. Oh, I love that picture too. Just wait until I post a video. I eventually will have a video of my entire trip to Disney, but probably not for another year. I have so much footage from that trip, and I just haven't taken the time to put that video together. Okay, so we're going to start with the bag topper. And this bag topper only has 4 different pieces besides the bag itself. And we are going to be using similar colors to stamp on. So we'll be using Bermuda Bay, Pumpkin Pie, Garden Green, and I'm actually going to skip out on the Granny Apple Green. I think I like the Garden Green better. But on my original project, I did stamp it with Granny Apple Green, and I'll show you the difference at the end of the video. And of course, one of my favorite colors, Tuxedo Black in Memento. So let's go ahead and start with our crocodile. And I'm going to be using the Stamparatus here. If you have not used the Stamparatus, it is definitely one of my favorite tools, especially when you are using a larger stamp. And I'm going to be using the foam mat because I'm using a photopolymer, and it's a little short compared to our other stamps. And I'm going to stamp it on our Oso Ombre paper. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to line this up here. Let's see where my magnet is. Come here. These magnets are super strong, so they're kind of hard to move around. Alright, and I'm just going to put my magnet off to the side. I'm going to grab my stamp and I'm going to place it on my paper first. And I want to make sure I have that light color and that darker color. There we go. Place my magnet down there. And then let's grab our stamp. And it did pull up just a tad, so I'm going to realign that. Double check. Yep, that should be good. Okay, we are going to stamp this in Garden Green. And I am going to take the stamp case and place it right back here, just to hold that even. Stamposaurus. That's perfect. I'm gonna have to use that. Kirsten, you have the greatest ideas. Also, Kirsten, I'm so sad that our trip got canceled. Oh man. I mean, I'm excited for, you know, possibilities in 2022, but I thought for sure that trip was going to happen since it wasn't until September. All right, stamp our crocodile. Oh, so cute. Move my Stamparatus. Now we're going to add some water. I don't believe I grabbed that one out of my stamp set, so let me do that real quick. Place my water on a clear block. Kirsten, you said you watched Bridgerton and The Queen's Gambit prepping for the event. I haven't seen either of those. I did watch Olive Reign, and I really enjoyed that show. I learned a lot about history that I didn't already know about. I'm the type that likes to Google as I'm watching shows that are based on historical information, because I want to know how much is actually accurate. And of course the show's a little fantastical, but it was really good. I liked it. Okay, and I'm just adding water on both sides of it. And as you can see, I did turn it around to make sure the water is facing up on both sides because it is going over that clear bag. Next, we are going to stamp our sentiments. And this is our bag topper. So let me pull in our original. On the original, I did some masking. So I stamped the greeting first, and then stamped the greeting on a post-it, and then took off the post-it so you could see the leaves around, but I actually like it when I do the entire leaf. So you'll see the difference in this one. I did this on my pre-recorded video, and I actually liked it better. So I'm going to stamp off, and then I'm going to stamp my leaf so that it's a little lighter. There we go. And then I'm going to stamp my sentiments on top of that. Let's see if I grabbed both of them. I did not. Let me get those out of my stamp set. And we want Jungle Wishes and Crocodile Kisses. Let's grab. Well, let's see, will we fit on my smaller one? Here we go. And it doesn't matter which one you stamp the Crocodile Kisses on, because you are going to fussy cut both of them out. But the black is dark enough that you can see it over the green. And you can see all the leaves. I didn't feel like you could see enough of the leaves in these ones. Hey Lori, thanks for joining. Next we are going to stamp some cute little fish. We're using pumpkin pie on pumpkin pie. Kirsten, you have to let me know if you like rain, and let me know how similar it is to the other shows that you were watching. I absolutely love Netflix though. I definitely love binge watching shows completely. I wait until I have a huge break though, because I will get super attached to the show and I won't want to do anything else. All right, these should be dry enough that we can start fussy cutting. And I love fussy cutting this crocodile out, especially when we get to the teeth. So fun. So like I was saying, I was doing some research on alligators and crocodiles because I wanted to see the difference between the two, and then I kind of wanted to see behavior. And I stumbled across the Australia Zoo, of course, and when I was younger I did love watching Steve Irwin. And I found out that the Australia Zoo actually has really cool, what would you call them? I guess expeditions where you are helping them do research. And so what they do is they tag different crocodiles so that they're able to learn about their behavior and their movement. And they actually still use Steve Irwin strategies to carefully catch crocodiles without hurting them and without disturbing their environment. So they quickly tag them, name them, and then they're able to take some information related to the crocodile. And they're able to use that for further research that they complete on the crocodiles. And if you do one of the expeditions, you can actually help them with their research. And they have shorter ones that are like 4 days long, and then they have other expeditions that are 10 days long. So that is definitely on my list when I go to Australia. I have determined when I go there, I need to take like the entire summer and just spend the entire summer there. There's just so much to see in Australia, and that has always been on my bucket list. All right, there's our crocodile. Now we're gonna go ahead and cut these sentiments out. Now I'm not going to cut every little leaf, I'm just going to round it on the outside. And you'll see the difference between the two. On my original project, I did cut out every single leaf, but I don't think it's necessary. You still get the texture just from the stamp. There we go. And then we are going to cut out our 3 fish. And I did give you plenty of room, and you're going to be using fish in the other project. So if you want to stamp them all on one piece, you probably will have enough room to do the fish for every single project. Hey Angela, thanks for joining. Fussy cutting, yeah, so fussy cutting is when you're cutting around an image like I am here. I think it actually originated with textile work, because anytime I was Googling fussy cutting, I saw cloth that people were cutting images out of. I'll have to look that up again though and see where it actually originated from. But I think textile work definitely predates paperwork. Okay, so it looks like we have all of our pieces ready. Let me move this over here. Let's grab our bag and our let's use our Stampin' Seal Plus. I'm going to make sure that flap is on the bottom and in the back. And as you can see here, there is a shorter side and a longer side. I want the shorter side in the front because I am going to have my crocodile. Actually, did I put the, no, I put the larger one in front. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that works because I do have the lighter one here and we want our crocodile popping out. So of course it's going to be lighter as our crocodile is popping out of the water. So let's go ahead and add our adhesive. Oh no. Whoa. Good thing that's going on the inside. Let's cover that up. That is so weird. That has never happened to me before. Okay, let me use my, let's see if my Stampin' Seal is going to do the same thing. Oh, no, it doesn't. Weird. I wonder if my Stampin' Seal Plus was sitting too close to the heater and did something funky with the adhesive. Alright, let's see. So let's go ahead and line this up as close as possible. There we go. Can't even tell. All right, we're going to start with our crocodile, and I am going to pop this up with dimensionals. Let me go ahead and grab those. Angela, I thought the exact same thing. If it was called fussy cutting because you're fussy after cutting so many of them. I think it definitely depends on how many you're cutting and how intricate your design is. This one I could definitely see some people getting fussy after cutting out maybe 10, 20 of them. I'm actually surprised that they didn't have dies with this set. Alright, here we go. And we want our crocodile half on the water and then half on the bag. And let's add a couple small dimensionals on the snout. Andrew, you were also thinking that? I'm surprised we've never heard the word or the term fussy cutting with all the cutting we do in class as teachers. We just call it prep. A lot of these terms I actually had to look up as I heard them from other crafters. And there's still some terms that I haven't learned yet. Alright, and we have our Jungle Wishes on the very top. And we're just going to use, okay, let's try this again. Stampin' Seal Plus, are you going to work for me this time? No, it's grabbing all of my paper. I have to do some investigating with that one. Alright, let's stick with our regular Stampin' Seal. Jungle Wishes and Alligator Kisses on top. And Crocodile Kisses in this croc's mouth. Yum. And then I'm going to be using the Tombow multi-purpose glue to add our fish. And I mostly use odd numbers, sometimes I use even. But for our fish, we're going to just add 3. And I want all the eyes to be facing down because they're just nonchalant swimming through the water. And then I'm going to use the Flowers for Every Season gems. I thought these clear ones were perfect for air bubbles. Actually, let's add our glue first. And I'm going to try one for each one on this project. I like to try different things every time I recreate it. See what I like better. There we go, we have 1. 2 and 3. Simple, quick, and cute project. Let's see, Lori, you said your neighbor is from Australia. No one can go there except those who are citizens. I guess I can go for a while. Those coming from the States are being quarantined for 2 weeks in a 5-star hotel with you paying the bill. Man. Yeah, they don't play out there. New Zealand was the same way. But New Zealand was able to, I think they had a huge lockdown the first 2 weeks of COVID, and they were able to get rid of COVID on the island completely within that time. Yeah, Australia will definitely have to wait. But I think Australia will have to wait financially anyways for me, because I definitely want to save up a bunch of money to be able to go out there. I'm gonna spend, I think the last time I looked, the airline was $2,000 just to get there. So if I'm gonna spend that much money to fly out to Australia, I am staying there a great long time. Okay, let's add our flap to our envelope. Here we go. And I'm going to let that set a little bit before I cut it out. So let's go ahead and stamp. I think I want to stamp this cute bird on the outside. So adorable. Andrew, yes, I do know that. You are always fussing when we have to cut things out. And I am a perfectionist, so I like it all to be cut out a certain way. What I should start doing, because I use my what is it called, the Silhouette Cameo, to cut out my stickers. I should learn how to, you know, design more things on it so that we can just cut it out on my machine, and then we won't have to fussy cut things out. That would definitely save us some time. All right, let's see, I need to bring my crocodile back in here. And I'm actually going to stamp this with our garden green again. On my card, on the original, I did stamp it in Flirty Flamingo. But like I said, I like to kind of mix things up, see if I like something different. Okay, so let's go ahead and I think I want the lighter side. Let me double check. Yep, that'll be good placement. Let's add our ink. Lori, yep. Everything extra we do for teaching is just prep, right? And boy, are there some weird things that we have to do as prep, as teachers. Cute. I don't know, I kind of like that garden green on this one too. Oh, did I forget to show you the other ones? Okay, hold on. Let's look at the difference between these two. Let me bring them back. So see, on this one, I used the Granny Apple Green, and this one I used the Garden Green. I think I like this one better. It just makes the crocodile stand out more. Okay, let's go ahead and do the rest of our stamping. On this one, we actually have 4 leaves instead of just the 2. And I'm not going to stamp off because I'm not going to add a sentiment to these. So I'm just going straight on to my paper. There we go. And then I almost put my stamp right back in there. Let me tell you all a funny story about today. So, apparently I was really tired this morning. I didn't think I was tired, but apparently I was. We are still teaching online, and so we're using Google Meet, and I typed in the code, and I was sitting there, and no one was there. And you know, sometimes our kids are late, and especially on Fridays, so I was like, okay, well that's all right. And for those of you that don't know, I teach with Andrew, and he wasn't there either, so I was super confused. I didn't understand why no one was there. And so I waited a few minutes. I signed into GoGuardian, and then I had students there, and they could see Andrew. And then I looked down, I had added an extra letter in our code. I was not sitting in the right place at all. Oh my gosh. It was really hilarious. And then of course, Andrew and my students were giving me a hard time for being late. But then we just laughed together after I told them the story. That is not the funniest thing I've done when I'm tired. Another time I was so tired, I tried opening up my classroom with my car keys. Not the actual like key part, but the button. Yeah, it didn't work. So I feel like my whole day has been like that. And I did take a nap today, and I still feel kind of tired. And I did leave this part open because I am going to add our sentiment here. But I don't want to do my sentiment until I place my crocodile on top. So I'm just going to double check. Andrew, we definitely laughed a lot this morning, didn't we? Okay, the last thing I need to stamp is my bird. Have you all done anything super funny like that when you're like just so exhausted? The kids had great stories too of what they've done when they're tired. I'm glad we're all humans. Alright, let's go ahead and start cutting. Let's cut our crocodile out first so we can stamp our sentiment. Let's see, Kevin, you said it's something you would do, car key clicker for the door. Yeah, it was hilarious. And it, you know, I didn't notice it right away. I was like, why is this not opening? And then I was like, oh, yeah, that's for my car, not for my classroom. We're definitely not that high tech. And I rarely get tired like that, but I am a workaholic, so I do sometimes overdo it. And if you all have seen Parks and Rec, the episode where Leslie Knope is just so exhausted that Ron has to force her into the room so that she can get some sleep. Yep, that's me sometimes. I go and go and go and go, and then I'm like, okay, I need to take a nap. Too much. Angeli said you walked into the wrong classroom and realized when the kids inside were mine. We were talking about that today too. Since I was in the wrong online classroom, I was like, yeah, I hope that wouldn't happen in person, but totally possible. also, as I was sitting in that lonely online classroom today, I was like, wait, is it Saturday? No, it's Friday, right? Yeah, Andrew, you're right. We probably won't see that kind of tech in school. It also would be super expensive to replace, because apparently like those car, what are they called? Are they called fobs? I know the one I had for my apartment was called a fob, but I don't know if that's the same thing for a car one. But I know that my brother had to replace his, and it was something crazy like $200 or $300. I could not believe that. Yep, Angela, you were completely right. Days blend. And this whole year, I feel like, has blended together. It's like, wait, when did I do that? Was that last week, last month, last year? And like I did on the other project, I'm not cutting out every single little leaf, just rounding it on the top. One of the other things that I thought was really cool related to crocodiles, I saw this bird and I thought, well, don't birds sometimes like land on alligators and crocodiles and just kind of like sit there? And I wasn't sure if that was just like a movie thing or if it really happened in nature. So I also looked that up, and yes, they do, and they'll pick stuff off of the back of the crocodile. But one other thing that they do, which I thought was completely crazy, is that some of them will actually land in the crocodile's mouth. So this crocodile would have his mouth open, and the bird would pop in and start eating things around the crocodile's teeth. And the crocodile won't eat the birds because it prevents infection in their mouth. Isn't that cool? So they work together. The bird gets a nice, delicious meal, and the crocodile has a free dentist. So on this piece, I did stamp 9 fish, and I'm only going to use 7. It's really up to you how many you add on your project. There's definitely room for a lot more on your pumpkin pie piece and on your project itself. How was everyone's week? Can you believe it's already almost the end of January? Almost February and Valentine's Day. I was really excited. I designed my Valentine's Day card. I did not go super ambitious like I was with my holiday card, so this one I'll be able to get out a lot more. And it's really cute. I used a cactus on it, little Southwest twist. All right, how many do I have there? 3, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I cut out an extra one. Actually, let's just cut this next one out and then I'll have it for my next project too. Oops. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and start putting this together. So I'm going to add my crocodile, and I am going to angle it just a bit. And we're going to go ahead and bring Bermuda Bay back out here. On my original project, I did use the Sorry I Snapped at You, but I I hope I don't have more than one person that I snap at this year. So I'm actually going to use a different sentiment so that I can give this to someone else. And I think I'm going to use this, either sending a big smile or you crock my world. Oh, that's a tough one. Okay. What do you all think? Should I use you crock my world or sending a big smile? I'm going to put the inside together first, and then let me know what you like better. You crock my world or sending a big smile. So I'll hold off on that, because I do know that there's a huge delay. So on the inside, we are going to add our very vanilla piece. I feel like I can't talk today. Words are hard. Here we go. Let's put that on the inside here. And then we are going to add these. And with these, you can actually add, like have them fanning out, or you could have them fanning in. On my original, I had them fanning in, so this time I'm going to have them fanning out. Okay, so it looks like we have 2 for crock my world. I wish I could easily do a poll on here. Okay, here we go. Oh, that one's sticking out just a tad. There we go. Okay, so it looks like it's going to be crock my world. Where are you at? You crock my world. Oh, this one's gonna be so cute. Okay, let's add our crocodile, and of course, we gotta pop it up with dimensionals. And this one I'm gonna go ahead and cut apart so I can use the extra pieces. I don't like to waste anything. There we go. Let's add a couple more. That should be enough. Take our backings off. So cute. There we go. Now let's go ahead and add our fish. And I'm just going to scatter them throughout the water. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, let's use my take you opaque tool. Place these down. And if you want all the eyes to be facing the same way, just make sure you're paying attention to that when you're adding them on. Because some are facing to the right and some are facing to the left. And I'm not going to add any air bubbles for these ones. I did on my very first project, not the one that I just showed you, but my very first one, and I thought it made the card look a little too busy. Let's save these two fish for our next project. And let's go ahead and add this here. And I think I am going to bump this up with some dimensionals. Let's go ahead and use some of these extra pieces. So my blog post for this week will be up later tonight. I do have a team event that I'm going to right after this. Actually, how am I doing on time? Looks good. So I will be working on getting that published right after my event. I already have all the individual videos recorded. So I just have to download this video for the live and then upload it to YouTube and then add it to my blog post. And on there, that is where you're going to find the individual tutorials, the list of all the supplies, oh my goodness, supplies that I used. You will also find the host code on there and the recipe cards. And I'll just share the recipe cards again with you because I think some of you were not online earlier. So they're going to look like this. They'll have all the materials listed on here as well. A picture of the project, and then on the back it'll have all the prep work and steps to do the prep work. But if you get the make and takes, all that prep work is done for you. So there we go. Here is our original with the Flirty Flamingo ink. This one has the garden green. For this one, I think I still like that Flirty Flamingo better. It just gives it a different look. And then the inside, we have the ones pointing out and the ones pointing in. I think both of those look really good. I can't decide between the two. Okay, on to our last project, and I promised you a story. So this one here, remember I said this was a chocolate Kit Kat? So, I did buy a bunch of chocolate, and of course I had my Kit Kat, and I put them in a Ziploc bag, and I live with my grandparents, and I told my grandpa and grandma not to eat any of the chocolate that were in those specific bags because they were for my project here. And I'm not just putting the chocolate in there for show, I'm actually, you know, bundling it up, and then I'm going to give this to someone. Well, I went to go look when I filmed my video yesterday, or not yesterday, earlier this week, and the Kit Kat bar was not there. And so I asked my grandma, have you seen the Kit Kat bar? And she's like, yeah, it was in the bag on top. I said, yeah, I know, but it's not there. And so I asked my grandpa, and he's like, no, I haven't seen it. I don't know. And so then I call my mom, because sometimes she comes over. Mom, are you on here? So I called her, and you know, like her, my brothers don't know what they can and can't eat, so whatever's in the kitchen is free game. So I thought, well, maybe she ate it. And so I called her, and she's like, no, have you asked Grandpa? And I said, yeah, I did. And he said he didn't eat it. And so later that day, my grandma goes into the kitchen, and when I am not in there, my grandpa says, oh, that chocolate was really good. So he had ate my Kit Kat. And I didn't want to go to the store again, but I had to go to get my Kit Kat bar. And they didn't have a regular one. They only had this mocha chocolate one, which I didn't even know existed. And it's fine because it still fits in the container. But I thought that was just the funniest story. Yep, Kevin. Oh my gosh, it was too funny. And he was like, "You told me that I could help myself with the chocolate." I'm like, "No, no, I didn't. I said you could help yourself with the popcorn." Oh my gosh. Too funny, too funny. Oh man. And then I told him, I said, "Well, you're gonna make for a good story on my live," which he is anxiously waiting. He doesn't have any sort of social media, so he likes to watch these videos after I'm done. So my grandma and grandpa will screen share it on the TV in the living room, and they'll watch it after. Andrew, yep. I love how he lied and then he told my grandma, "Oh, I was so good." I'm like, "Oh, geez, you didn't have to lie, just tell me." And apparently he's been eating the other chocolate, so I was wondering why it was going down so quickly. Oh my gosh, so funny. Angela, yep. You can't leave the food out. But I definitely don't want to put the food in my room because then Sirius is going to grab it. She definitely cannot have chocolate. That's for sure. Actually, let's add our oh snap. Did I take that one out? I did not. And I have really good chocolate in those bags. Hershey Kisses. Oh, the other thing that I thought was super funny is like the bag is filled with chocolate, right? And of all the chocolate, he takes the only one that was one single chocolate. You know, everything else there's multiple of. But the Kit Kat, there was only one Kit Kat. And my grandma's laughing too. He picks the biggest one out of all of them. It's like when you go trick-or-treating and you tell the kids that they can pick one from the bucket, and they pick the biggest one out of it. Oh, so funny. Oh, why did I put that away? I still need it. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Yep, all the stamping is done. Let's go ahead and cut out our crock. We'll cut out all our pieces, create our tag, and then we'll put our box together. And for this one, I used the same piece of, or the same design as the card, except I did use the green instead of the pink here. And I really liked these bubbles because it almost, I thought it really looked like a crocodile's back. That was so cool. And this also makes it easier for you to complete these projects because you don't have to take time to color these crocodiles. I do want to tell you that I'm very excited for the next couple weeks. Next Friday, I have some really gorgeous projects that incorporate a lot of purple. And then the next week, I have created some projects that you could use for Pi Day. I don't know if any of you celebrate Pi Day. I have not officially ever, like made a pie. One day maybe. But I do love eating pie. Especially blueberry. And I did find some really cute treats that are going to go well with that pie theme. It's not a whole pie, but it's pie themed. Kevin, your favorite color's purple? Yay! So you'll love next week. I'm trying to use up all the different colors, but I have realized that I haven't used a lot of orange. Like here, I just use a tiny little square, right, to do the fish. So I have a ton of orange paper. And it's not anywhere near Halloween time. I'm not sure what else I'm going to use that orange paper for. I have to get creative with those ones. Maybe, no, I'm not sure. Any ideas for the orange paper? Okay, I believe we're ready to assemble. All right, let's go ahead and pop this up. Now, we're not going to add dimensionals on this entire crocodile because it is going to have to be a little open on the top. So I am going to turn this over and I'm just going to use a pencil. Let's see if I have one in my bucket. Yep, here we go. So I'm just going to mark where I want to make sure to avoid any sort of dimensional. And then let's go ahead and add the rest of these on here. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to pull in some of the smaller ones. Let's see if this will fit. Oh, no, there we go. I might need a little trimming, but not much. Wonderful. Okay, let's go ahead and add our crock. And no dimensionals are showing. And I'm going to pop up this bird right here, just with one dimensional. And we got to add our cute little fish. Ooh, I don't think I'm going to be able to, well, maybe I can squeeze one in there. All right, this little fish, poor thing, doesn't know what's coming. Swimming away. There we go. And I'm not gonna add any air bubbles on these two, but I will on the top one. And let's go ahead and add a couple. So in your make and takes, you will receive a small bag like this filled with these different size gems. I forgot the glue. Maybe just two. Let's use the smaller ones. There we go. Awesome. So let that dry just a tad while we put our box together. So when you're making takes, this is what your box is going to look like. And I did round off the edges here. So we're going to go ahead and make our flaps. This one's a pretty simple one. We're just going to cut these apart here. And then of course we are going to angle them to make our folding easier. And then cut this side as well. Angle. Okay, let's use our bone folder to make some really good creases. So we pull this around. Okay, here we go. And I did create these edges. I wanted it to slide in there, and then I wanted these to kind of like hold it in place. Oh, also, if any of you don't follow me on Instagram and you are interested in following me, I am at 199 followers, so I just need one more to get to that 200. So if you don't already follow me and you want to, that is just Dino Danielle Designs. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I do post my tutorials on there, and then I also post the live on there as well. And if you subscribe, you will get notifications when I post new content. Okay, for this we are going to be using tear and tape because it is a 3D project and we want it to be really strong. And I want to sandwich these small flaps. And I'm going to have the larger one on the outside. So let's add a little tear and tape to our small flaps here. Okay, so that's going to attach to the medium-sized one. And then we're going to attach the large one on the outside of these. Now let's peel off the backings. There we go. Okay, so we're attaching our small flaps and then the large. And you can use your bone folder to press down. Make sure you have a good seal there. There we go. Okay, now we just have to add this piece here. And I'm just going to be using my stamp and seal. And I need my bone folder again to make sure I have a good seal here. There we go. All right, we are all done. So let's pull out the originals and the ones we just created today. See if I can fit all of them here. There we go. So we are all done. Thank you so much for joining. If you're watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. If you would like these make and takes, don't forget to place an order of $35 or more by Tuesday, January 26th, to receive the make and takes for free. And here is the host code you will need to use. Have a wonderful weekend. I will see you here next Friday. Take care.